once it does this, once it creates that support over here, then things are gonna become a lot more interesting on the order flow front. Then we're gonna start to see a little bit more excitement coming in before the move. See, now then the next candle is gonna come up, or this should close like pretty strong like this, and the next one should close up like that. That's why I think should happen, yeah? That should happen. It just comes straight down. It's a little bit less predictable. Like this. But you know it's good because we've got this liquidity grab confluence area. So if we're looking for a sell, then we have that zone. We have liquidity, we have resistance. Right over here, some rejection wicks. Let's see, it's already starting to crack below 40.55. See, orders are starting to come in a little bit more, get a little bit more excited here, market participants. As you can see, the only issue, it's not really set up yet. And it's also doing more of an absorption than anything because there's still a lot of buyer aggression in the market right now. So that's not lining up. So that leads me to believe there's going to be like a little bit of a suspicious move. And like possibly even fake out, but we'll see. Right now, I wouldn't be too keen on the sell at this very moment. I gotta like wait a bit, I think. If it sells off, it's gonna be like an earlier sell. Oh, y'all seen this? I think I never noticed this before. Okay, never mind. There's the order flow is coming back in. Yeah, these are those moments where it's super easy to miss a move because everything can shift so quickly. Wait, but this gotta like pull up though. I still need like some kind of like a support being formed here. They see this pull up. I would love to see a bit of absorption from the like absorb the buyers as it pulls up. Order flow is coming back in. But what I want to show you, like, there's a new update here, it seems, on TradingView. I've never noticed this before. There's an anchor here. When you hit the anchor, it stays on the screen there, like this. But when you take off the anchor, it stays where you dropped it. Never noticed that before. Yeah, I mean, like it's trying to break already. A bit too early for me. Although I do love the resistance points right here. So we do have like some resistance areas here, some nice confluence, liquidity grab, kind of like moving downwards a step. I do really like the idea of that. But it's still not yet confirmed me the sell. So if it doesn't come back and if it doesn't do an absorption play and break these lows, most likely just gonna try and break above and then look to fill this range, like 30 pips. I have like some resistance areas here, some nice confluence. I see it's just on a minor grab, kind of like the 1 minute there too.
Chasing Pips official has become a member.
Now it's starting to get interesting. Because price has got to move eventually, right? Now it's starting to get a bit more interesting, seeing a little bit more orders coming in. As structure, you see, like the thing is, you see how it's working with the structure and the order flow. Hey, welcome, Chasing Pips. Let's go. Welcome to the TFX tribe. All right. So yeah, we're about to like shoot above right now. We just did a liquidity grab. You can see it on the 5-minute as well. Down there. See that 5-minute? Okay, let's go on the 5-minute. That's our 5-minute liquidity grab down here. 5-minute liquidity grab down over here. Correct? So now we're starting to get a bit of direction. Order flow looking good. We're at what, 500K now. Oh, damn, I almost got in. Holy. Wait, I'm going to get in here on the flip. Did y'all manage to secure something? How much? Oh, no, it didn't push that much. It did not push that much. $756K. Hourly's flipping as well. We should be getting a push here soon. Hourly is being a doji. A little bit indecisive. So at this point, I wouldn't be looking for any sells whatsoever until the order flow maybe starts to flip. All right, I got triggered in on that round. Got my stop right below the candle. I'm gonna risk like around $500. Got like $500 in this move. See if we can get like 1,600. 1,000. 1,300. I'll probably put my stop loss to break even here. Or should we secure something? Should we secure it? Oh, how much time we got? This is 5-minute about to close in 2 minutes. Oh, I might get stopped. My entry is actually somewhere a little bit above. I got stopped out of BRE right there. Maybe I should have secured something. But we should be pushing up though. That's the thing. That's why I'm wondering why we're fluctuating here a little bit. We should be pushing. We should be pushing. Why it's pulling back down? Because our hourly is flipping up. It's still pretty fresh there on the hourly. And we also got like a little bit of a shotgun play to the upside too. A bit of knowing that it pulled down like that. because I see we have loads of confluence to keep moving up, even how it broke above this high. It's like a shotgun play to fill this wick. So it's like 40, 40, 61. Because right here, it's in distribution mode. We're about to get a new 5-minute open. Where would the next buy zone be? The new 5-minute open here. Because everything else is looking quite nice. Everything else is looking quite bullish. Structure-wise, there are just some key levels that price would really need to get through. Unfortunately, like you see here on the 5-minute, it's got these levels on the left-hand side, which can give it like a bit of trouble. Here and here. I just keep monitoring it. This looks like it's struggling a little. It wants to move up, but it's struggling a little. It just came back into the range to see if it can grab any more orders on here. See, it's trying to grab more orders, trying to break back up. It's trying to break above these levels. Nice little SMA as well, holding price. Almost getting a, what do you call, like a kiss of death right here. You got a kiss of death right here, SMA crossover. Trying to get through this level, but we'll see if it can. Because you see, Delta right now, it's still moving up. 1.1 mil. Hourly still being a doji. You see, it's still a little bit indecisive, right? We're in the second half of this hourly candle, and you can see it's still pretty small. It hasn't yet picked a direction. That's kind of the issue that I would say like would be an issue to be dealing with here. We haven't yet seen it pick a direction. That's why I usually secure something, you know. I usually look to secure my trades because most of the time I would rather like have just a profitable trade remain a profitable trade. Also, risk to reward wise on that was already like a 1 to 2. Yeah, I'm gonna keep monitoring it. Yeah, it is a little bit lower. I think it's because of the way the structure is right here. It's because of the way the structure is. It's a bit of like what do we call a delicate situation. How long am I going to do this? Only 1 more year or more? No, I'm going to be doing this for a very long time. Trading is that thing that you don't just stop trading, right? It's hard to just stop trading, especially when you put in the work to become consistent. Very rarely will someone just stop doing it. It's even if you don't even become consistent, you'll never unsee the charts. You'll never unsee the potential that there is in the markets. So we've been doing this for around we've been streaming. We've been doing this live here since 2023, September 2023. So you see, if you go on the journal in the description box, this is 2024, 2025. I've been trading since 2020. But we've been doing it on social media for like since 2023. and 2026 so far. So yeah, I don't think I'm gonna stop anytime soon, to be honest, you know. I think you sacrifice too much to get good at something to ever stop. Like there's a lot of sacrifices that are made, so you don't make them like not make sense. A lot of freaking sacrifices. People only see the profitability. They only see that at the end. They don't see the journey. So unfortunately, it is what it is. But it's definitely not easy, you know. It's definitely not easy. I think it's gonna set up here again. This is what, like 38 pip range. So I want to see price come up, boom, retest this high, come back down, maybe then see if you get like another buy. But it's whiplashing, correct? It's still kind of whiplashing. And the kind of giveaway here was the wicks. So if you notice how the wicks are building, look at these wicks. It's showing us that the market is getting into whiplash. So we gotta avoid the whips. How can we avoid these whips? By securing profits if you get a profitable trade, or waiting. Just wait until you get a clear signal. So I'm gonna look at this range. I think I'll give it like one more try if I see anything interesting. Call it a day, win or loss. Next to you. Next. There we go. That's the support being formed. Keep an eye on this level. You're gonna try and create some structure here. If it genuinely wants to move up, it should stay in this area for a bit more. I would say like to create a very nice structure for the break. I see what's going on. This has been the fake out above here. I'm still looking for buys, but this has been the fake out above here. That's created that little mini head and shoulders. Here, and here. That's why this volume's pushing to the downside. So that whole area here, that had been the fake out. Because still people holding positions within those breakouts. You have like bigger stop losses, especially like below those levels. Something like that, below like a support area like this. See, the issue here is like, again, New York session has not yet picked a direction, so it can be very difficult to be already in a winning trade. This candle is only about like 10 pips. Candlestick volume on the hourly. Wow, Goldie. There's a very minor shotgun potential here, but there's just not much room. Probably like 10 pips. 5 minutes about to close. That's a 5-minute close and break and retest. Retest of this area here. But you see, it's just difficult for, even like if it sells now, there's just so much more bullish bias that this would just be an early sell for me. So it only become clear once we at least start to move down a bit more. Somewhere like here. I decided to break below the low. This is gonna be that 5-minute breakout. The initial one that we were anticipating before. Maybe just took a little bit more time today for New York session direction to come in. Macro fundamentals bearish on gold. Keep this at the back of your head as price is moving down. But I think I would wait. I would at least wait for maybe like this 5-minute here to close in 2 minutes. Because it's a bit extended, right? It already just broke here, distributed about 26 pips. I'll wait a bit longer. Early entry, Delta flipped from 1 million down to 300. But remember, like, on the 5-minute, this is that zone. Again, this is that zone where we're trying to crack. So think about this like just one big candlestick, right? If this one big candle here is a doji, we're still waiting to see if it can move away from being a doji after accumulating a lot of volume here and then start to push down.
I'm not done with you. I'm barely even started. I'm not done with you. I barely even started. I'm not done with you. I'm barely even started. when I'm done. I'm not done with you. I'm barely even started. I'm not done with you.
Come on, Freaky Friday. Can we get a Freaky Friday? Freaky Friday has not yet started, chat. The only key moves that we had today was the buys that, the buy we took this morning. My position right over here. That was only the buy we took this morning here. And then price moved up. Correct? And then price moved bullish after the buy. It moved up. That's it. That's it. Like since that area here, we kind of started leveling out again. You see this? Now we're like flattening it out. So now we're waiting for the Freaky Friday candle. Whether it's going to do this, and then we can have like some kind of a movement like what we had here, but like also to the downside. That's why I said like Freaky Friday has not yet started. I reckon it's going to start somewhere around here by like 40, 50, 51. If it decides to sell off. But you see, the thing is like these buyers are super aggressive right now. They're so aggressive. The buyers are so aggressive. So aggressive. Look at the 5-minute here. But you see, it's the thing is caught in a chop. This whole range, a little bit unpredictable until we start to get some form of structure. Which we're kind of lacking now. Even on the 1 minute, we're lacking it, unfortunately. Whiplashing. So I don't want to get involved until this flips here. So we can see at least maybe negative 200k would be good. 200k plus. Buy now. I'm not taking the sell yet. I know I got it drawn up here, but I'm not getting in yet. I'm just monitoring it because the seller aggression can step in at any moment. So you see this move up was a bit of an absorption, right? Because we were going 700k and then it came down. I mean, it was reducing. All right, we got 2 minutes, 20 seconds for a 5-minute closure. So let me just move this for now. Sellers are about to take control. We're about to take control here. Shout out to Canadians in the chat. We're about to have a sell. That's why I said I'm gonna give it like one more shot. Not to overtrade Freaky Friday because when we get our confirmations, we should be able to move away from this area here. If it gives me a confirmation, if it gives me a trade execution and it doesn't move from this zone, like most likely we end up staying here a little bit longer. And it's already been about 48 minutes since the New York session opened, so not sure. The next time the volume's coming in is probably going to be NYSE. Throwing bands and it's making them like damn. Stick with me, I got them like damn. Throwing bands and it's making them like damn. Stick with me, I got them like damn. Throwing bands and it's making them dance. Stick with me, I got a plan. Throwing bands and it's making them. Stick with me, I got Why are you good at trading? I always get impulsive and ruin my wins. By setting yourself rules. That's it. You gotta follow your rules. Maybe stick to taking 1 to 3 trades per day. Having a playbook, a simple one at that. A simple playbook that you can actually follow. So it doesn't lead to, you know, no analysis paralysis. And at the end of the day, you gotta be disciplined, right? You have to be disciplined enough to follow your rules, because if you don't, you're subconsciously telling yourself that it's okay to betray yourself. So that's like a really big problem with trading, because it leads to things like bad discipline, will lead to like over trading, over risking, and it happens to everybody. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be at least 90% psychology. 90% psychology every month. And really look and see how can you keep your losing trades low so your wins outshine your losing positions. Because you can't control the win, right? Like if it goes in our favor, awesome. But we can't control the stop loss. All the time we're gonna control where the stop loss is, how much we can risk on the stop loss. And then repetitive, what do you call, like, you always got to look at every day. This is something we talk about heavily on the channel. I'm not sure if you just joined today, but for example, like every day going to give you a different type of a model, right? You see like this from the trade that we took this morning. This is like a sample. Think of trading like this. This is a sample. So whenever you're looking for your best setups, let's say you want to do a challenge or passive funding account, look for a sample like this. Look for a day like this, right? Where it's like pretty straightforward. You see this volume. Look at the size of these candlesticks. Yeah, price came down. We have clean traffic. This all in the 5 minute. So we're not going to overanalyze like all that time frames. We're just going to look at the 5 minute, for example, right? And then you can see there's a pretty good probability if you break above here, that price is going to move towards that next resistance point. Correct? So this is just one sample. It's just one sample of a potential trade you're going to get. And when you want to be careful, you're looking for this, right? So this is how you initially start to build some kind of a consistency when you approach the market with some kind of a caution. And now you see the difference. Now let me take you here. What do you notice here? You see even that gut feeling. That gut feeling is telling you that something happening here, it's not so clean. It's not, even if you don't know exactly your playbook or what you're looking for, if you know how to read naked charts, you can feel that this is not, like you can see the wicks, right? You can see a bunch of wicks over here. You can see how it's like faking out a lot, and it's like, it's just moving sideways. It's not so clean. It's not so nice like this. And like every day is going to be different. Like if you see the way we traded on the whole week, if you watch the previous streams, we've been talking about this. So today on a Friday, this has actually been the hardest market condition we've gotten all week. Like so far this week, I would say it's been pretty straightforward, right? But today it's slightly a bit different because we're already 50 minutes into NY and we're still not moving anywhere. The hourly is still a doji. But since we know this, for most people trying to be extra careful, the best thing to do is just not to trade. If you're trying to get like wins behind you and build some confidence, so you can at least make a weekly withdrawal. You know, so if you at least try and focus just 1 week to be so disciplined that you execute on let's say the TFX confirmations, if you're going to be using TFX concepts, just be so disciplined to wait for the TFX breakouts or the shotgun plays in these type of market conditions where it's like flowing a lot better. And trust, man, by the end of the week, if you haven't been getting withdrawals, if you haven't been having a good progress, I can guarantee by the end of this week, your P&L will look stable. It'll look a lot stable. Whether that's going to be, you're going to be ending with a profitable trades or maybe close to break even, but it's going to look a lot more stable as you keep like paper trading these type of days, getting used to them, because these are going to be more impulsive, you know, these are like a lot more impulsive days where like people get trapped in bad market conditions. And then before you know it, you might be in here for the next 2 hours and only to realize that price hasn't even gone anywhere. Like, for example, I remember back in 2020 when I was still learning how to hold runners, this is exactly what I told myself, which is a funny thing. Now, 6 years later, and I'm showing this as an example to somebody, but at the time, I didn't fully understand this, but I did understand that when price came down and created a range like this, and then created a structure, that gave me a good opportunity for a runner. Correct? That's all that I knew. So I used to say, like, for the Asia session and monitor exactly this pattern right here. And guess what? I increased my chances of learning how to hold runners just by waiting for that specific market condition. All right, chat. I might be looking for a buy here because I'm seeing the structure has been formed. Maybe like start breaking about somewhere around here. We do have somewhat of a structure. Now the question is, are we gonna actually get the volume? Gotta remove the sell zone for now. I think it might be, you see this structure here, it may be a reversal play from these sellers. Because you see, there was also TFX confirmation on these sells. That was the fake out above here. That's a fake out. You had a bit of a head and shoulders. And then it broke the distribution. That's why you're seeing a big push. Because it started triggering sell orders over here. So if price comes down, creates a support, and then breaks back above, there's a chance we're coming to retest seller stop losses. Like you see, like from here, because seller stop losses could even be above this structural high right here. So typically, as we always say, like when price struggles within an entry like this, because you always want to play the devil's advocate and think about that your enemy, in this case, if it's a seller and you want to buy, think about how their positions are layered, right? So right now it's beautiful for them. It seems like it's going to profit. But if it started going against them, typically that's how a losing trade feels like, correct? Like you all have been in trades before and you understand, like when price does something like this and then starts to come up, how would you feel about that trade? Most of the time you feel like it's going to be a losing trade. The problem is we don't do anything about it. So instead of risking less here, we're kind of going to confirm the break. We have hope that maybe that it's going to continue in our direction. But you see, that's what I'm thinking. We might still have it able to get a push right here. But if we don't get back up there, we still need to push around like 44 more pips. Then I'm still monitoring this low right here. We saw a break below 40.50. Hey, Kinity G, thank you for the sub. Welcome to the squad. For the culture, no judgments. Why don't you hold runners, only shotguns? Well, I tried holding a runner here. Now you see what happened. I was up like 1,300 and then back to break even. That's why I don't like holding runners. If I can already see, you know, the thing is, it's a number. If someone gave you $1,000 cash, you're gonna take it. Because it's a number, sometimes you feel like you're gonna push that number. Correct? So I always assume that that I'm getting paid that in cash. So I would rather take the K. I'd rather take the K. You see, like here, I try holding it because everything was lining up beautifully. Correct? But you see, came back to break even. And also, I like to hold the easy trades. The trades which just push. So that's what I thought this was going to be. Like a trade which just can keep pushing. Those are much easier to hold. like we took yesterday's trade, I wanted to secure around 1,000, I think 1,500, but I secured 2,000 something on yesterday's trade because that was like an easy runner. Like even this morning's trade, that was an easy runner. I wanted to secure 2K, it secured 3K. Easy runner, lots of confluences lining up here. Genuine big push. You see this? But you see also what happened? Because if price moved up like 74 pips, and let's say I just wanted to hold the whole range, most probably by 74 pips, my stops are going to be 2 break even. So if I was going to be greedy, yes, price would have gone in my direction, but it would like hit me at break even. Because it tends to like to balance, those areas before giving the push. So like if I got like a position go, let's say like 2%, most probably I'm gonna secure it. Oh no! Wait. Oh, I just missed my entry. Oh, damn, Daniel. Damn, Daniel. Man. I just missed my entry here explaining that to y'all. All right. Maybe I could have secured something right here. I could have gotten away with maybe $1,000. Same thing that happened here. And did someone take it? Daniel, that's for the better. Rejected. Yeah, but I think this time I would have secured it. I would have probably taken it. But at least it rejected, so I don't feel too bad, right? It doesn't feel too bad. If it was a bomber clot, oh man, that would have hurt. That would have hurt if it just kept moving up. Not too bad, not too bad. Not too bad. It's hard to say what would have happened now. Whether I'd have actually broken even or secured something. It's hard to say in hindsight. But for sure TPs were hit. That I know for sure. Potential TPs were hit. So you see the order flow is starting to shift. Maybe we're gonna use that liquidity grab confluence. Maybe it happened for the better. Sometimes when you miss moves, it's also for the better. People always say, oh, you know, I missed this move, I missed that move. But I'll tell people, like, you never really miss a move. Because the next move is around the corner. And we just got a fat liquidity grab here on the 5 minute. But yeah, it is surprising though. It is quite surprising that that New York hasn't yet moved. And we should be having NYSE open in, I think, 30 minutes. Hey, Johnny Bitcoin, welcome to the squad. Thank you for the sub. Macro gold fundamentals bearish. I think I'm gonna wait like 1 minute for this candle here to close, because I'm about to get a new 5 minute open. But I like that little liquidity grab here on the 5, and we're heading towards the tail end of the accumulation now too. That overall accumulation from here. So you got potential sells below. See 5 minute. Like 20 more seconds for candle there to close. We're about to get the New York session move, I believe now. Stop loss going to break even. I'm gonna secure it. 1,400 bucks. Let's go. Beautiful. Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it. Make sure you secure some, guys. Beautiful trade. Let's go. Freaky Friday dubs. Amazing. Very well done. Very well done.
Something close to genius. Well, when he's around, you've always
1,630. Awesome. That's kind of what I wanted from the other trade too. 1,630. It took time. This volume took time. I'm not sure why it took so long today. I see it like coming in now as well. Look at that activity. Because we're breaking up the overall accumulation point right here. That's why that volume is coming in. So now I'm up 4,700 bucks, which is 4,700. So I'm up around 9.4%. Amazing. And all it took was just to be patient. I knew we wouldn't hold. It's hard for me to hold, man. It's hard for me to hold. This story of my life right here. I can't hold. I just can't do it. I think I'm just genetically wired to be a scalper. I can't hold. But I was already up like a 1 to 2 plus. But you know, if you hold, awesome. If you hold, awesome. Very good. Very good. Then now we're down -2 mil. Insane. And I told Frankie yesterday, let Fridays be a holding day. Why not hold, Vic? It's always like that. I told Frankie, let me just hold on Fridays. At least once. But I'm too greedy. I think that's my problem. I'm just too greedy. Like when I see profit, I just want to win. I just want to win. Let's see. So that puts the monthly PNL here 45.66. 45.66%. Awesome. Very nice. Sui. Holy. This has like been the true second trade of the day. You see, you got this bomber cloud here this morning. Another bomber cloud here this morning. Now we got another bomber cloud here as well. Okay, Ahmed, thank you for the sub, man.
Bomberclad!
Yeah, there we go. Now you see people awake here finally. Now that's negative 2.7 mil. Bomb clots everywhere.
Just like we're
I want to go watch the Odyssey today. I'm gonna go my IMAX. I think. Prince Joseph, welcome to the squad. If I just held, why you never hold? It's always like this, look. But you know, let me tell you something. I'll tell you why that I don't hold, right? I'll tell you the exact reason why that I don't like to hold. So the idea was when I started trading like live accounts. Now everybody's trading funded accounts, right? But back in the old days, we used to trade a live account. We used to work and then put that money in a live account and then just trade our own money. It's like $50, $100, 500, 1,000, didn't matter because we like profits weren't as popular. So the whole idea was like, how can I get stuck into a trade with a huge ability to maximize profits? Right? So that was what I was thinking, because I was trading a small account. I want to be able to have bigger moves so I can make more out of those smaller accounts and trying to like flip them, right? But over the year, I always at the same time knew that this would get me to a point where my account would be big enough that I didn't have to hold anymore. And let me tell you, that is a luxury. It's such a luxury in trading not to need to hold a move. If you look like someone like Elon Musk, right, and how he made hundreds of millions of dollars on Bitcoin, do you think Elon had a 1 to 10 or 1 to 50 risk to reward? Elon, with his capital, was able to make hundreds of millions of dollars off even probably a negative risk to reward. Correct? Because in trading, the rich always get richer. And why is that? Because they have a lot more capital to make a lot more money without necessarily putting too much risk on. So that should be your goal at the end of the day. You shouldn't be trading a $50 account as if you're going to be trading that same style. When let's say you're making one trade $10,000, I don't think that your psychology as well may like necessarily adapt to it, because that's why the reason why people, when they do like prop firms, those big numbers affect them. And just because they're seeing so much profit, they're not able to trade the way they were trading on a smaller account. So trust me, if you got to find yourself a system where less is more, then that's going to be the best, right? Because it's a lot easier to remain consistently profitable swimming from point A to point B like this, rather than always trying to do point A to point B like this. But you know, it's just funny because this strategy that I use, TFX Concepts, it gives me these moves, right? Although I know it happens, although like you're a lot more comfortable here. I feel a lot more comfortable here. That's how I'm able to keep my monthly PNL up. And also your psychology feels so much better when you secure something. You feel so much better. Just secure something. So we got options. You know, the good thing about this too is whenever I'm in a losing streak or like I'm struggling, if I take a big loss, then I know I have to hold. But at least I have the option. Some people don't even have the option. Like if I'm just being brutally honest, some people's systems don't even give them the option. But I know, like you see this in my previous trades right here. I know, say your strategy is same to Roger Bank. No, I don't think so. Roger doesn't trade the 1 minute. But look at this. When you have enough of this data, when you have all this data of all your trades, like when you take picture of all your trades and you see the potential for them to run, whenever I get like a losing streak or like I take a big loss, man, I know that Bombaclat trade is just around the corner, so I can make it back. So, you know, that's such a huge luxury because sometimes I'm down like maybe let's say 9%. I can be down 9% like rarely, but I think this year I've been down like 10K twice. This year I've been down like 10K twice. This year, already in like Q3. But 2 times I was down 10K. But all I knew was that Bombaclat trade, the running trade, is just around the corner. So it's a huge luxury to know this and to have this data as well. Because you don't have to grind. You know, when you have like a big drawdown, grinding out of the drawdown sometimes can be it can be draining on psychology because you want to be making profit for the month. You want to keep making profit for the month. So you always want to have like this type of data with your system. So you don't take trades based off like wishful thinking. Like this. Even yesterday's trade was a Bombaclat. Now you can like get stuck in here. What risk reward is that even? That's ridiculous. This is a, let's go on risk reward. That's a 1 to 13 risk reward. But let's say you like give your trade a little bit more room, right? Let's say you just give like 16 pips. They're like 16 pips. That's a 1 to 4. They're like 20 pips. Let's say you just like give a bit more room. Still pretty decent. The 1 to 3.24. It kind of depends on what you're trying to achieve. Are you trying to flip an account? Are you trying to make back a loss? That's what kind of decides a bigger hold. Do I trade funded on my own money? I trade my own money. It's good to trade your own money if you can trade your own money. Especially if you're already having the skill and you can get funded and build your own capital, that should always be the goal. Because you're going to have a lot more control with like a regulated broker than a funded broker who is backed by a regulated broker. Most of the time, I feel like they're still a bit sketchy, right? There's still a huge conflict of interest. But if you got a live account with like a genuine, well-reputable broker, I think like, for example, IC Markets don't have a funding program. My broker doesn't have a funding program, Scope Markets. So they're just more of a broker to just help you get in the market. You can grow that live account. But fundeds are beautiful. Fundeds are beautiful. They're beautiful for getting you started. Now it's coming down. So this is the next, this is going to be the next move right here. You have 100 pip range to the downside. So this is why that guy said I trade like Raja Banks. I know this. I know where this mentality is coming from. Because you see something like this and you've seen him talk about clean traffic and clean ranges. But you see, the thing is, like, Raja didn't invent the clean traffic or the clean range. This has been happening since the market was being tradable here. You can see on TradingView, even before TradingView, this already existed. You see, the whole idea behind trading is like you have to have areas. This has always been existed, right? Like you've always had an accumulation before, and you've always had a breakout. Correct? You've always had times in the market where price moved up like this, and then mirrored that area clean the same way like this too. So we're not here to reinvent the wheel. We're here to look and see what works and keep what works in our systems to give us a better edge. So you see, like that for sure is something a lot of traders actually pay attention to. Clean traffic or low traffic areas, or some people call them even imbalances, I think. There could be like some weird imbalance over here people are going to draw into because it's a pretty obvious situation. You see it like right here as well? How price came down, boom, 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 came down, moved sideways, and then moved up, mirroring this move. It's essentially the same thing that happened here. However, this one was not as clean as this one, but it's just flipped. This is a move down, consolidate and move up. This is just, move up, consolidate and move down. But you see here, traders are going to pay real close attention to 40.45 now, you're going to see. And we can already see we're having some reactions as well. A couple of rejection wicks, but this is essentially a speed bump. This is essentially a speed bump for price to keep moving down. That's all that it is. And you see on the other time frames, on the 15-minute, looks pretty good. 30-minute, looking pretty smooth. 1 hour, beautiful. 1 hour can even come down further, down towards these lows by 40.22. 4 hour. This is an imbalance, like even this can be looked like as an imbalance for some people because of the way the candlestick moved up so aggressively. Look at this. Whenever a candle move up like that, sometimes the next candle will want to fill some of that imbalance you can think of as well before it continues to move up. Correct? Even opened and blasted up even without a bottom wick. But you see, the thing about gold at the moment is gold technically should be moving down like this because DXY interest rate hikes are happening in September. That outlook is already pushing the price of gold down. And yeah, I think that's what I'm going to be expecting for the rest of this quarter. Even look at the previous quarter. I came down like this, but this is heavily driven by macros when you start getting on this higher time frames. Right? So we're beyond the bull run right now. We're expecting more further downside as the year comes to a close. Unless something changes. But we don't speculate. We just, we base our decisions here off of data. Whether that's going to be order flow right over here. You all see how this order flow works, right? You all see how it works. You see how the bubbles. Right? Let's talk about the bubbles for a minute. You see how the bubbles increase when volume is coming in. That's not an accident. That's not an accident. You see how the aggression increases as our hourly picks a direction. It's not an accident. This is DX feed. Right? So this is like some solid data here that we're using. Just the same way when we're going to use the CME FedWatch tool, this is some solid data over here that we're using. And it says in September, we're having an 80% hike potential on the DXY, right? This is data. And then you come and investigate this. Okay, so if we're expecting the dollar to strengthen, what's the DXY doing? You go on the DXY and look at this. DXY is already pricing in. It's pricing in the interest rate hikes that are going to come in September already. And look at what the DXY is doing. Another thing, look at what the DXY is doing and what that I explained to you here. Gold was doing. You see this? This is gold on the right-hand side. Look at this. And look at the DXY. Is there a difference? There's no difference. This is what we call like TFX concepts. We focus on how that the market moves. Right? So there's a pretty high probability here that after this accumulation and with the rate hikes, that the DXY is gonna start moving up. So tune into the stream, guys. We'll look at this again in September, and then we're gonna be like, oh wow, man, that's so awesome. That's so awesome over here. But this is a higher time frame play, so it's gonna take time. So there's like accumulation, then it's gonna break out. It's gonna come up here, just the same way gold did this morning on the buy that we took. And you see, because we already know this, when we take the position, we feel confident about that position. Correct? We feel confident about that position. I followed several gurus from 2017. I can confidently say you're among the top 1%, if not the best. Thank you for that very, very humbling comment. Very humbling comment. Yeah, but I think we're all on the same page. Write a 1 in the chat if we're on the same page. If this is making sense to you, because this is basically the fundamental aspects to my system, right? It's a very fundamental aspect of my system. It's literally how we just caught the last trade. And this is gonna happen over and over and over again. I've been trading for 6 years now. I have not seen that change. Going into my 7th year, I have not seen that change. And you see, the reason we rock FOMO here is because institutions are going to be squeezed into buying soon, right? So as price continues to move up, because you see institutions, we're all looking at the same numbers. We're all looking at that 80% rate hike probability in September. All the banks, all of us, we're all looking at that information. Unless there's some insider trading going on, that's the information that we have. So as price starts to move up, we might see they're going to be forced to buy, because usually they get in sooner, because what we call them as market makers, right? So in September's FOMC, we're already going to be most likely somewhere around here. And you see again what I mentioned? Speed bump. Correct? See how it's reacting off that level? Because this is a super important level here that the buyers want to hold. Because if we get through 40, 45, you see how it's reacting right now? If we get through 40, 45, then the buyers, they know the risk of price closing like this, that they're going to give away more gains potentially. Because there's not much defenses. You can think of like a defense game, right? There's not much defense on this side for this move to come down. So they're going to really try and hold this line over here. Just the same way this happened. Once the buyers lost control of this region, the sellers lost control of this region, there was not much defense standing in the way for price to mirror that move. So now the best thing to do is to wait. Because what essentially is happening at this point now is we're creating structure for price to potentially continue to move down or to move up. But remember, at the same time, the market doesn't like to leave people in profit for too long. So what I'm asking myself is, when are we going to balance this area out and like tap into it before we even continue to move down bearish? We don't have to necessarily, but that's just something at the back of my head. But you could also just create the structure here like this, and then just break the lows and then continue to sell off. So gotta wait. But this candle, man, you don't want to buy this candle. You do not want to buy this candle. This is still moving down.
Take my hand and follow me.
There's just a speed bump.
I know these streets. Don't you feel so alive? You could just die here in my arms.
So if we're gonna put like some labeled charts here, that's a high. This is a low. This is what we're gonna call the consolidation zone. This was consolidation zone at inception, because essentially that was the main break, correct? That was the main break, because there's a huge area, basically all the way from here to here. It's a huge freaking zone. So that's the consolidation at inception. Now we're getting continuation here. So it came down, it paid out those sellers. It's creating structure here. So you have another point. So this essentially is the same thing this is, right? It's smaller and it's happening more as a continuation, right? But you need some confirmations. You need some confirmations, like a break of a low, a little bit structure. For me, what I would typically like to see is some kind of a support to be formed right there first, and then break the low. Because man, like once people get stuck in, let's say people get stuck into a position like this, right? And let's say now it goes in your favor. So as it's going on your favor, you're looking on the left-hand side and thinking, man, where's this thing gonna go? Look at where it can go. Look at where it can go. It's gonna fill this parabolic move to the upside. Potentially mirror that move parabolically downwards too, potentially. But you always want to secure something, you know, even like if you're gonna have like a range like this, like you see even in this morning's trade, we still had like a huge range above 40.32. Doesn't mean you gotta hold it all. Secure something. 1%, 2%, just get paid. Yes, sir. But I'm going to head out here, guys. Hope you all had an amazing week, and we'll see you next week again during pre-NY into NY Open. That's 7 a.m. Eastern to 8 a.m. Eastern to 9 a.m. Eastern. Right? And let's do it over and over again, because remember, guys, this is going to happen over and over and over and over again. So I'll see you guys next week. Enjoy your weekend, and adios. Take care.